This is our first night on a little month-long adventure. That's not a bad little park up, is it? Beautiful woodland, bluebells, wild garlic, gorgeous views behind me over the Brecon Beacons. We'll be heading up there tomorrow, I believe. It's just really, really lovely. We've just had tea, just got settled. And yeah, it feels good to be back on the road. Oh look, I just found this sweet little eggshell. I hope that the little birdie has hatched. And rather than a predator, it got it from its nest. Look at this view, people! Holy flipping moly! Oh my god, that's so gorgeous. Right, first shopping mission accomplished. It came to a grand total of £15.64. This is our joint spend. I did also, out of my own money, we were in, it's Aldi, isn't it?
Aldi.
Yeah, we're in Aldi. I also got myself 2 little cans of cocktails that were 99p each, so a strawberry daiquiri and a raspberry crush. Usually these are really, really sweet, so I'm probably not going to enjoy them very much, but thought it would be a little bit fun. Also, a packet of crisps that are gluten and dairy free, so that came out of my personal money. Now let me flip you around and show you what we got for the £15.64. Alrighty, we got 4 big 5-litre bottles of water. We do have 2 in our water cupboard, I believe, but these have a tendency to burst, as I've now discovered a few times. So we're going to empty these ones out. These are ones that we've reused many, many times. So we're going to empty those and recycle the plastic, and then we can start this trip with 4 brand new bottles. Johnny got a loaf of white bread for lunches. We've got another box of eggs because the eggs I brought from home, I think I've only got 2 left. Bunch of bananas. We got some of this like Marmite stuff, which is also gluten-free, which is actually quite hard to find, so that's quite handy. A pot of raspberry jam, a cucumber and 2 kitchen rolls. Because it's the start of the trip, we've still got really full cupboards. We've got lots of canned stuff, loads of fruit and veg. This whole bag here, this little cool bag, that's completely full of vegetables, so we didn't need anything else. We are now going to pop to Waitrose because I want to get a ham to cook in the slow cooker, a gammon joint, and it's got to be high welfare, which I know that I can get. Get on.
Such a drama.
And I know I can get that at Waitrose. Unfortunately, all of the pork here, the gammon, was all just cheap, and I'd rather not eat meat than eat cheap pork or cheap chicken from a welfare point of view. So I'm going to get this stuff packed away, then we're going to head over to Waitrose and do a very quick shop there. Oh, and we're in Abergavenny. Don't think I said that yet. So there we are. This is day 2 of our road trip. Leaving Waitrose, I did really well. So you may have noticed that I like going food shopping. So Waitrose to me is like my favourite food shop. Favourite food supermarket. So I was really, really good. I literally went in there for these things. So we've got this gammon joint, so we're going to cook this in the slow cooker and have it for meals and for sandwiches. And I got some goat's butter. This is really hard to find, so because I know that Waitrose sell it, I figured I would stock up, and between the fridge and the cool bag, this is going to stay good for ages. So there we go. And I've left Johnny in there. Johnny can't be trusted either, apparently. So it's going to be really interesting to see what the boy comes back with. Also, 24 degrees in Wales today. It's sweltering. Luckily, it's a little bit overcast at the moment, which is good. It's brought the temperature down a little bit, but yeah, spicy hot. All right, lovely humans, we're about to cook tea, so I thought you might like to join me. I've got some defrosted beef mince that I've brought from our freezer at home. This was a broccoli that was on its last legs, so I washed it, diced it and just popped it in a little bag in the fridge. That needs using up. I've got half an onion from last night's tea and a bunch of spring onions from home again that I've just cleaned, like cut all the dead bits off, taken the outer sheath off if it was looking a bit sad. So I'll chuck those on at the end. I've got a very sad looking pepper. It's been well beaten up. I've got a jar of red jalapenos, I've got spices and things, I've got garlic. Also I thought I'd better crack into one of these cheeky little cocktail cans that I got today from Aldi. And yeah, we're going to make a kind of bolognese typey thing, and it'll either go with rice or with pasta. And this is the fat I've brought on this trip. This is pork fat, and with some bacon fat poured in there too. I just keep jars like this in the fridge, and just when I'm like cooking bacon or whatever, I just pour the excess fat off into the jar. And it makes a really flavourful, yummy cooking oil. Saturated fat, actually really good for you is my belief. You can keep all those nasty seed oils. I like to keep my cooking oils nice and old school. And the gas is off. So there I was, getting ready to cook tea. And then I remembered that we smelt gas again. I don't know if you remember, a few weeks ago I was camping and on my own with the dog, and I smelt gas. So I ended up using my little camping stove to make coffee and stuff. Well, Johnny didn't really believe me that there was a gas leak. And he looked and he said, no, it's fine. I can't smell it, therefore it's fine. Anyway, now he agrees that there is a gas leak. So he's had a little look and he's actually a little bit concerned about it. So he's just taking the dog out while I get tea on. And I just phoned him saying, oh, I forgot, am I allowed to use the cooker? To which he said, oh yeah. So he's coming back and he's going to wrap the pipe in a damp cloth. And we're all going to cross our fingers that we all live happily ever after. Oh, we have another neighbour. Looks like a T4, maybe a T5. It's a T4. Oh, how cute are you, my friend? Oh, very cute colour scheme too. Right, so there's mine. I've got a little bowl of bolognese with half an avocado, some spring onions and red jalapenos. Johnny had some rice with his, but I wanted to keep mine low carb. One thing we've been really surprised at is the amount of litter wherever we go. Out in the depths of nature, it's actually been horrifying. We're travelling with a litter picker this time, so every car park we stay in, we're having a good old clear up. But it's a massive problem here, and we met some guys from Welsh Water, I think it's called, the water board, at this car park actually. And I was having a chat with them, and they took a bag of my litter pickings with them, which was very cool of them. And we found a real lack of bins here, certainly recycling bins. They're like few and far between, but even normal bins. And the guys were telling me that people burn them. They actually set fire to the bins. So if you do come up to Wales and you're in a van, I really recommend you bring a litter picker. It just puts us campervanners, us travellers, into a bit of a better light with the locals as well, when we can actually leave the place better than we found it. And you certainly wouldn't want anyone thinking that you're the one dumping the rubbish around.
Good morning, Cannon Campers.
Good morning. We've got a bit of a gas leak on a gas line on our camper van. Just wondering if that's something that you could help us with.
Yeah, no problem. Is it the flexi or is it somewhere in like the hard pipe?
It's on the hard.
Johnny had a quick call around our local-ish campervan and caravan specialists in the area, and we got booked in straight away with a lovely young guy that fixed our problem, and 50 quid later I can happily say that our gas supply is now safe. Hallelujah. And as a bit of a bonus, while Johnny was getting the van sorted, I took the doggy out for a little walk and found my very first ever chicken of the woods mushrooms. I was so excited. I did then message my friend up in Scotland, Justin, just to make sure that I'd got the ID correct. And obviously I'd gone through all my own ID checks, but I always like to get a second opinion when it comes to eating any kind of mushrooms from the wild. So cheers, Just. I appreciate it.
Like to go to someone's farm or something. Oh, this is the tight one, wasn't it?
Yeah, we're one of them.
Turn right.
How's that for a hairpin?
Oh, this is worse than...
Oh my god, please don't meet anyone else.
I just hope I'm going to make it. Oh, it's like a skid.
Oh my gosh, that's so scary.
Oh, I judged that perfect. Look.
Ooh la la.
Ooh la la. That's the tightest hairpin I've ever been on, I think.
Yeah, because it's so narrow, you haven't got any leeway, have you?
Yeah, you've got to get that one right.
Cute little birch. Oh, that's pretty. Look at this countryside. It's just gorgeous.
Pounds, I think.
Good boy. Look at that. So this little pretty, well, not little, huge tree is hawthorn. Pretty little frothy white flowers, and the leaves are edible this time of year. Tasty. Bob, come on. Get in that water, you mucky feet. Look at those toes. Throw him in. Good boy. Back legs, please. Let me look at you. Oh.
That's not too bad.
No, it was pretty wet mud, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Cool. Come on then. He's gone. He don't like that. Johnny, look. Good to know.
What's that say?
Weed. Today's little treasure that I found out while I was dog walking. So pretty. Anyone know what bird that's from? So this is the mushroom that I found yesterday on that tree stump. It's paled quite a lot, so I need to get this eaten, otherwise I'm going to have to throw it away. Now, I've never tasted this before, and apparently some people can get poorly from it, so I'm going to have a little bit now, and hopefully, if all goes well and I'm fine with it, then hopefully I'll still be able to eat the rest tomorrow. He did say it is looking a little bit past it, so it could well be a bit tough and not very nice, but I really want to try it. So we're going to do that right now. You can see why it's called chicken of the woods. It literally looks like shredded chicken. Okay, that's what I'm going to try today. Now apparently you also need to cook it really well. And definitely do not eat this one raw by all accounts. So I'm going to set a timer just so I don't undercook it. Hey Johnny! Just in time to try some chicken of the woods. Have you eaten it before?
No, I haven't.
So our neighbour in the next van popped over to say hello. We had a good old chinwag, and unfortunately I kind of forgot to record our taste test of the little bit of mushroom. I liked it. It didn't have an awful lot of flavour. Johnny absolutely did not like it. He's a bit squiffy about mushrooms anyway. He spat his little bit, tiny, minuscule bit out. He wasn't having any of it. But yeah, I quite liked it. Unfortunately, this poor mushroom kicked around the van for another 2 days, by which point it was way past looking like a tasty, healthy specimen that wanted to be eaten. I think Johnny actually has thrown it out. But I look forward to finding another one. So let's have, hang on, you're filthy again, you grubby lot. So let's have a little catch up. Today's Friday, we left Cornwall on Monday. So a week ago today, last Friday, I lost Sassy, my little cat. She was elderly and poorly, and I chose to have her put to sleep. It's really, really hard, but it was all exactly as it should have been, as most things are. It's just I'm left with a lot of grief and sadness that she's gone. She came into my life in a really difficult period of my life, as cats tend to do. She was definitely here for a reason, and letting her go kind of highlights the end of that healing stage for me. Letting her go has been quite transformational. Very, very difficult. Very, very sad. She was my substitute child. So I felt a huge amount of grief at her not being here anymore. Anyway, we took her to the vets, not knowing, but probably thinking that she wasn't going to be coming home. And we had her put to sleep, and we brought her body home to bury her on the farm. And I put her on the floor so that Sunny could see her and smell her. And whilst they were never friends, they were family. They tolerated each other as a cat and a dog that haven't grown up together would. But it's really affected Sunny, and I think my distress at losing Sassy has deeply affected the dog. And 3 days after losing her, we came away on this trip, and he's not been right ever since. He's off his food a little bit, and his toileting isn't right. He's very loose and has mucus. So I think he's got colitis again, which apparently can be brought on by stress. And we're going to find a pets at home today and try and find him something to soothe his tummy. And if that doesn't work, then I'm going to have to take him to the vets. But I don't feel it's urgent enough to warrant him going to the vets. He's had colitis before, and I have taken him to the vets. So he's been on chicken and rice, and just try and get him right, because he just looks really sad and, yeah, out of sorts. The day that Sassy was put to sleep, I remember crying at my mum. Luckily, my mum came to the vets with me. I don't know how I would have handled it if she hadn't been there. But I remember saying to her, I don't think I can have any more pets, because this bit hurts so much. If you don't know Sassy's story, she came to me 13 years ago. It was in the midst of, I had multiple miscarriages in my 30s and 40s. And I think she came between miscarriage 3 and 4, or 4 and 5. I can't remember. So she came in at a time when I was in a mess. And she definitely came to help me through that period of time. But her story was that she'd lived in a caravan with a lady and 20 other cats, and she'd never been outdoors. So her entire life, she was born in this caravan and she'd never been out. And then she came to us, and she lived on a farm, and she had all that expanse of freedom. And like, she'd only ever hunted flies and moths before, and then obviously she came to us and she just hunted everything. It was so sweet. And then she grew old, and then in 2020 she broke her tail. We still don't know how, but she had to have her tail amputated. She was deaf. She when I took her to the vets 2 weeks before she passed away, she'd started to lose her vision. The vets told me then that she had kidney disease and thyroid disease. She had a tooth infection. She also, this sebaceous cyst had burst, and the day that we put her down, the vet said that there's probably cancerous tissue underneath there, and she'd had enough. It was, keeping her alive for me was absolutely not the right thing to be doing for her. It's just so hard letting them go. Anyway, this little trip has been perfectly timed for me to come to terms with her not being here anymore, and to heal a little bit. So there we are. Now you know. Johnny's now chatting away to our neighbour. Lovely bloke. Mike, if you're watching this, really lovely to meet you, Sat. And actually last night he was sat in the van. Johnny and I were sat in the back with the dog, and Mike was sat in the passenger seat that flips around. And that shows how poorly Sunny is, because he wasn't even bothered. He wasn't even shouting at him being in the van, which is incredible. Right, I'm going to pull myself together and we shall chat later. Friends, I'm going to cut this video here. I've got so much more footage, but I think after that little emotional outburst that we all need a nice cup of tea and a break now. So I'm going to save the footage for the next video. I just wanted to explain why this one has been so long getting out to you. So apologies if I've made anybody else sad. If you're looking forward to seeing the rest of our Welsh adventure, then please don't forget to subscribe to the channel and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.